Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new found footage horror thriller, In Our Blood. And this is from documentarian Pedro Cos, who makes the shift into narrative filmmaking here with a fake documentary, as this focuses on Emily Wyland, a filmmaker who reunites with her estranged mother, only for her mother to disappear. And her cinematographer Danny pursue clues for her whereabouts amidst traces of her past addictions. And this film is quite the engaging and compelling mystery. And this film starts right off the bat really expertly utilizing the found footage documentary approach, and it makes a lot of sense since Kos is a actual documentarian, and it never feels like it's cheating. There are some moments in the moment where it feels like they might be throwing logic out the window to continue the film in the way that it is. But honestly, as it goes on, you start to really realize what's actually going on. And from a technical standpoint, I found this quite impressive. And from a thematic standpoint, this is dealing with a lot of issues like drug addiction and border towns and migrants and all of these different types of things that are just the bedrock to this story. And addiction is used in such an interesting way and metaphorically leveraged for some more interesting horror elements that, begin to reveal themselves as the film goes on. And this film really sets the stage with Brittany O'Grady, who's fantastic as Emily, our protagonist, this filmmaker, who's putting herself out there very vulnerably with her estranged mother, played by Alana Ubach, who really puts herself out there. There's a scene earlier in the film where she just breaks down, and you just feel that emotion. The acting in this is really impressive. E.J. Bonilla, who plays Danny, also has moments, and he's somebody who used to be part of a gang. He still has the tattoos that remind him of his past transgressions. And this film is so much about our pasts coming back for us, and family and connection, and how far we'd go for that connection. And this film deals in these themes and ideas in such layered, complex ways, especially as the film reveals itself to be more than meets the eye. And for so much of this film, you see it as this mystery, this thriller, and it has great scares and thrilling moments, big emotional beats, fantastic acting that gets us connected to this story and the ins and outs of people disappearing and bloody pigs' heads showing up and all of these things. The last 15 minutes of this movie reframes so much of what has gone on, but it doesn't do it in a cheap way. If you take a step back, I watched the film, I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And then moments flash back into your head and recontextualize, and it all makes sense. And it deepens. It doesn't throw out all of this narrative and thematic work in the earlier parts of the film. It deepens it, it mixes with it, it makes it even more compelling to think about. And this film is so rich and complex with so many different layers. It's a fascinating film. It is unnerving, incredibly well put together. There's so much great emotion, and wound up being such interesting world building and thematic work. This was a film that really took me by surprise and pulled off a really impressive exploration and a fresh take on horror elements and presentation that you see a lot. But this gives it to you in a freshly new way. And I think the fact that, this is a documentarian who's making this leap into this and bringing a fresh perspective and really nails it. And this got me hook, line, and sinker all the way up to the end. And it's one of those types of films where I'm chomping at the bit to go check it out again. Without the credits, it's 82 minutes. And can't wait to see how this film recontextualizes upon watching. And you just see all the layers and the deep, rich mixing of themes, ideas, and motifs that this film's able to accomplish. But those are my thoughts on In Our Blood. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.